what was up with Tamzy, Tingz. Guys, I have too much fun with myself. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you're all doing well, having an amazing week or weekend. So today I wanted to talk about my relationship with social media and how I've actually used social media to build up self-confidence and empower me in a way to move me forward in my life in a positive direction. So I know we live in a day and age of technological advances, social media, posting, likes, validation, and a lot of negativity comes with that. And I feel like social media definitely caters to that and definitely has a bad rep for producing a lot of more anxieties than not. So I feel like anxiety manifests itself in different ways. I feel in other generations it was in different ways, but now it's more with social media manifesting in worrying about how many likes you're gonna get, if you get enough likes, feeling like low or down about that, and basically just constant monitoring. And I think if you are prone to issues like that, it can be very problematic. And I think a lot of the time people just use the excuse of like, oh, we're in such a vain generation, or people just like, oh, I think they're this. And I think no, like I'd like to think of it more as we're in a more self-empowering generation where we are learning how to love ourselves for ourselves and not waiting or needing validation from everybody else to let us know. Yes, there are people who, maybe fall into that category of not really caring about other people and just themselves and doing it more in a more malicious way than anything. Whereas I think a lot of other people are there, empowering themselves and just feeling like, okay, I got this. Like, I'm fly, I'm beautiful. I don't need anyone to tell me that, and I don't need anyone to bring me down about that. So in my case, I tend to always look at it more in the positive light. And because I have an understanding of how social media can be very negative, I consciously made the efforts to not make it be that way for me. So what I basically did, I know I have touched on in my other videos how when I was younger, I was like really insecure. Like, I mean, it's crazy when I think back to the person that I used to be and the person that I am now, and I'm just like, I'm sure people who haven't seen me in a long time since then, would be like surprised at the person that I am today, because so much has changed, so much growth has happened, so much self-confidence has been built, so much self-reassurance, and basically just learning how to love myself. So I think for me, Instagram, I think mostly I've done it through Instagram because I am a very visual person and I love images, I love pictures, I love seeing imagery rather than tweeting, let's say. So I rather work visually rather than writing. So when Instagram came about, I first heard about it in 2012, I think. And I got it, my brother told me about it. And I got it, but like I didn't really know, what it was about. You just post random pictures and stuff, but I was still in a very dark place in my life and just not happy. Or I didn't practice a lot of self, value and validation, basically. And yes, as I've said, I was very insecure, and I'm still, working on doing a video of my full journey, and especially when it comes to my body perception and my body issues and whatnot. It's just taking time because I'm just trying to figure out how to do it. I think I'm gonna do it in like 2 parts. And also it's very emotionally triggering, I think. So it's one thing to just talk about it and be comfortable, and then to really dig deep to like the deeper, issues and like how these things affected me. So I'm gonna get there, guys. And also I just don't have a lot of time, so I'm gonna get there. But I just thought, let me start off by talking about how I use social media to build my self-confidence. So, as years went by, like I remember 2013, like I started using Instagram more and just feeling like, don't shy away from feeling good or feeling like you look good. Take a picture, post it, whatever. And to me, like, the thing about likes is like, don't get me wrong, likes are nice. They're nice to have, they're nice when they build up, whatever. But it is not the end all for me. Honestly, Like, even if, you know, one of my pictures I thought was really going to be nice and I don't get as many likes as I expect, I don't feel down about it. I don't beat myself up about it. Like, I've heard people, even some of my friends, like, they'll delete a picture if it doesn't get the, you know, right amount of likes, which is okay. I'm not judging or saying that, you know, oh, there's something wrong with you, but just the way I use social media, I don't let it, I don't use it in a way that it brings me down because I don't get a certain response from it. Or yeah, so basically, like, likes are nice, whatever. And then, I mean, bruh, 5 likes, I was happy with my 5 likes, with my 2 likes, because, you know, people didn't have Instagram. And I think even during those times, like, I was slowly building myself up, but there was still a lot of insecurities or shyness, in the sense of, like, owning that I'm believing that I'm beautiful and I don't need anybody else to tell me otherwise. Because, I mean, I grew up being called ugly all the time at school. I grew up being teased for the tone of my skin, for the shade of my skin. I grew up with a lot of bullying. I grew up with a lot of, you know, being put down, basically. So when I finally started to open up my horizons and just be like, no, Tamara, like, you need to love yourself. You need to find yourself beautiful. You need to give your own self-validation so that you can be happy with who you are as a person. So everyone else can try to tell you, you know, like, that you don't look good, you don't this, but you yourself, you know what's up. So yeah, I would still find myself in a space of, you know, worrying that people are gonna judge me and think like, oh, now I'm just like, you know, because I feel like a lot of people, when people are so happy with themselves, or when they have a lot of self-confidence, they kind of look down upon, like, why does she think she's not even that good, beautiful, she's not. So I was scared of that. I was like, oh my gosh, why do people think this? When it's like, it's not about that. Like, I'm just trying to tell myself that you're beautiful from all the years that I was told I wasn't, you know. And even when I was, like, I was just so insecure and so brainwashed to believe otherwise that it didn't sink in until I started loving myself and me. And, you know, most of the self-confidence building through social media came with my body perception. So, I mean, since I was a kid, my weight has just fluctuated, like, continuously. And when it stayed, you know, regulated is when I wasn't eating, basically. And I did that for many years, where I didn't eat a lot and I was very skinny. And, you know, my perception of my body was skinny, when my natural body is not like that, if I eat like a normal person, which I do now. So yeah, so times where I would just go back into a routine of eating normally, I'd gain a bit of weight, then feel insecure, blah, blah, blah. Wouldn't want to post a certain picture because I think I look this way, I look fat, I look this, I look that. So I think, like, around 2000 and, let's say 2000 and, end of 2014 to 2015, I just started getting in the space where I was like, why am I unhappy about my body? Like, yes, I've gained weight, but is it because of me personally, or because of what societal standards are set for me to believe is attractive with a body or is socially accepted? So, you know, I constantly was asking myself these questions, and just basically trying to enjoy my life, and just being like, why should I restrict myself from eating like a little bit of pasta? Like, I feel like I would just be so restrictive that I just couldn't enjoy anything. I was like, no, let me just live my life, eat what I want, not eat like crazy and stuff, but I'm just saying, like, eating like a normal person, basically. And with that came weight gain, because I was finally eating, like, my body was getting some food. And my body was going back to what it's supposed to be. So, and then I just kept on building on that, and like, I'd post pictures and feel good about myself and be like, no, like, don't be shy. And I would challenge myself so much, and I still do that to this day. Like, I would challenge myself, like, you know, because you pick yourself apart, even though you still know what journey you're on, you're building up your self-confidence. I would look at pictures and be like, oh my gosh, like, there's a bit of cellulite there, or like, there's, I don't know, I look like chubby here, like this. And then I would just say to myself, what's the worst that could happen if you post this? Like, you don't get a couple of likes. Like, that's about it. Like, are you going to die? Just post the image and challenge yourself. So sometimes I would post the pictures that I liked the least, or the pictures where I thought I looked the least attractive. And still, the response would be fine, like, nothing bad would happen. I just kept doing that and kept using social media in a way to challenge myself, and doing it more for me rather than what the audience reception was of what I was posting. And I think as I go along, like, I just continue to do that. I continue to use, you know, Instagram as a way to shed light on my growth, to shed light on my body acceptance. And I'm very positive in that way, because I think I've done too much harm being negative to myself already, like majority of my life, that I've just moved past that and trying to always maintain that positivity. And it's not easy, because I mean, the thing is, staying positive and staying body positive, no one's saying it's just like easy, like you're just gonna live this fairy tale life, like, oh, people are dying, no, we're going to survive, oh no, bad things happen. No, it's a challenge, and it's a mindset that you train yourself to be like, to live a fulfilling life, you know. And some people, I feel, because of their own insecurities and because of their own struggles, when they see people trying to live this way, they're like, ugh, these airy fairy people, or like, ugh, whatever, you just come with your positivity nonsense when you know life is hard. Life is freaking hard, and I know that, trust me. And I still have many challenges today with my body. I still have many challenges with my self-perception. I still struggle with seeing myself as beautiful sometimes. And I still have all these issues, but I choose to remain positive and push those feelings down and be like, no, you need to accept who you are and love yourself for who you are, no matter how much you're going to be judging yourself, no matter what. So I have those challenges too. Sometimes it can be daily, sometimes just weekly, hourly, do you know what I'm saying? And I think recently, like, this year was a bit of a jumbly up year, and my security, or like body security, or like my insecurities, just went up a level type thing. So I was feeling a bit down, you know, gaining weight, losing weight, blah blah. And on top of having hypothyroidism, doesn't make it any easier to lose weight. Okay, so I have been going through a couple of struggles this year, but I've still been maintaining and talking about my issues, and just like, and sometimes I'll put a few captions, you know, explain what's actually happening. You know, a picture will be really nice, but then I'll be like, so as much as I love this picture, posting this, I was having so many challenges because I felt A, B, and C, and just spreading that, you know, it's not always perfect. Like, it's not always like, oh yeah, I'm just living my best life with no, I have my own freaking issues too, you know. So yeah, basically how my use of social media has helped me has been in a way to challenge myself. Number one, to embrace myself for who I am, to really enjoy sharing my happiness, sharing my whatever challenges I'm going through. I'm happy with sharing that in my control. And it's not to say that, oh, you know, you should only have your perfect images posted, or you should only show this type of life. No. I don't see social media like that. I don't personally. I know a lot of people do, but I see it as, I'm gonna post what I like, right? Yes, of course I have challenges and stuff. Like, I won't always just post a picture of me when I'm like crying or doing things like, no. But it doesn't mean like that I don't cry, it's just what I post, you know what I'm saying? So before people like, say, because a lot of people judge like, oh, you know, you only want to show this type of life when you know what you're doing at home. It's like, for me, I don't view it like that for myself personally, because of how I've used social media in a more positive way. And I understand that not everyone can do that because life is hard and life sucks. But I just wanted to share a bit of how I've managed to use social media more positively than negatively. And, you know, just enjoying having fun, it's nice to be complimented, it's nice to be all these things, but always remember to try find your own compliments, like you complimenting yourself, you loving yourself, you knowing that you are beautiful, and then receiving it from the outside can be even better, do you know? So yeah, I think that's, you know, just a short little thing that I wanted to talk about and just spread some awareness on. And I hope this can be a bit helpful or inspiring for other people going through the same things, having issues with self-acceptance and whatever, and just, you know, learning about maybe how I used social media in a way that has helped me. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found it a little bit informative. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, definitely give it a thumbs up. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you at my next video. Mwah!